Alright, well, what do we have here? So this is a Luftschutz helmet, and yeah, it's got some weird paint on it. But what's very interesting is it does have original paint beneath, right here, and it even has a decal, which we are going to try to uncover without damaging. The inside is painted too, but the paint is pretty brittle, so it's easy to remove. It's also marked here, RL 23921, I think. And maybe it also still has the decal for the price here. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just removing this by chipping it off with a blunt screwdriver. And well, you can pretty much scratch the paint off with your fingernails, which is very nice. That saves a lot of work, and it still will be a lot of work to remove all this. But it'll be a very nice Luftschutz helmet. I also have a liner for it, so that'll be pretty cool. It's actually is it a 2 or a 3 piece? I think it could also actually be a 2-piece, which is not something I have yet, so that's pretty cool. And it was really cheap. I bought it together with 4 other helmets, one just M42 and 3 M34 fire department helmets, one of which is wartime with a name in it too, which is pretty cool. The others are post-war. But yeah, as far as originality goes, I think this is the winner. I mean, the decal is still in pretty decent condition, all things considered. Like, for example, here, it's pretty much undamaged. So yeah, I'll try to be as careful as possible, and I'll get back to you. Alright, well, here we are. I think the result speaks for itself. Now it's also a bit more bright outside. It took a few hours to remove the paint. But yeah, as I said, I used the tools I mentioned and it worked pretty decently. The decal is a bit rubbed, but especially this side is in still very nice condition. Yeah, I just put some split pins in for now. I'll make a liner for it or use one I have around. But we'll see. As you can see, I didn't remove all the paint because on some areas it was very hard to remove, like right there. And it would have just resulted in scratching the original paint pretty badly. It's not that visible in the dome, but some areas are down to bare metal because this paint was pretty stubborn. But the shell itself pretty much has no rust. It's in really good condition, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's some small specks left which could be removed, but it would take a long time, so for now I'll leave it as is. Now you can also very nicely see the markings, RL2 3921. I think that's Quist, but I'm not sure. It's actually a 1-piece helmet. It's not even put together here, it just has this rolled surface. But yeah, you can pretty well see all the details. The paint itself is in pretty good condition. I used some leather fat or shoe polish, well no, not shoe polish, it's just leather fat for it. That's why it's a bit shiny, because before that the paint looked a bit attacked, but now it has, well, brought it all around about in one color scheme, so it looks a whole lot better now. As you can see, there is some period marks from wear, like right here and this big scratch here. It's nice that this is preserved. You can also see here, this was there when the helmet was worn back in the day probably. And yeah, it's a very nice Luftschutz helmet. I'll now look for a liner I can put in it, or I will make one because I have unused, probably post-war, but hard to say, leather pieces that I could make a liner with. So we'll see about that. Maybe I will do that, then it will look brand new. Unfortunately, there was no sign of a price tag in here, which is a bit sad, because they usually have these here, or they're marked in some way with the price and the size. Not this one for some reason, but yeah. You can't even see if it was present there at some point. Maybe it was removed a long time ago. But yeah, so that's this helmet. I'll take some photos of it now, and yeah, I'll get back to you with the liner. Okay, so a little update on the Luftschutz helmet, because I did finally find a liner for it. It wasn't a different helmet, but it was messed with a bunch, so I put it in here. So you might think this is leather, but it is not. It is, I think it's actually just pressed paper or cardboard. Unfortunately, it is broken in a few areas because of that, but at least as long as I don't do anything with it, it won't deteriorate. But yeah, so this came out of an M18 helmet, which was reused, I guess, also post-World War II, because this is not something that was done interwar. Yeah, after the war as a fire department helmet, because of these little pieces here, but or maybe also late World War II, but again, this helmet was messed with. The chin strap here is an M31 chin strap, but it is a reproduction one. It's just a bit old and pretty rusty, so it looks pretty much like an original, but I don't think it is original. If it is, even better, but yeah, I'm guessing not, because the buckle doesn't have a sharpened point, which looks a bit cheap. Otherwise, it's a very nice chin strap for being reproduction, and it fits on this helmet just as well, so I didn't bother removing it. But yeah, this marks the end of this little restoration series. Well, it's not a series, I'll make it into one video. So this video, there we go. I hope you did enjoy it, and next time I'm going to try to include more packing at the paint content, because, well, I personally like it, and I hope you do too. But I'm guessing since you clicked on these kinds of videos, you do. Also, the split pins I used, you can see they have no paint. This is how they were on this M18, so I'll take it. The liner had already been removed at least once from that helmet, so it's not like I destroyed anything. As you can see, I did put the cork spacers in here, because otherwise it wouldn't have fit nicely, then it would look very stretched. The liner itself is a size 58, I think. I don't want to damage it any further. Yeah, there we are, it is a 58. And yeah, it's already, as you can see, torn in a few areas, which is unfortunate, but since this is literally just paper with some sort of coating on it, you can't really do anything about it, which is unfortunate, but at least it won't get any worse. The leather itself is very dried up here, it can almost break off. See here. But yeah, I think this helmet is now in very nice, presentable condition for what it was. I mean, if you remember, it had this hideous camo paint on it, but now it's back to, well, wartime specs. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and if you want to see more content like this, well, different helmets, whatever I have at hand at the moment, well, I guess just subscribe and you'll see some more. It was certainly a lot of fun because the paint came off decently enough. I won't say perfectly, but yeah, we were able to save this original decal and the paint, which is very nice. So yeah, see you next time.